Good morning, YouTube. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day out there. Welcome to another episode of Life with Brian. In today's installment of 5 things, I'm going over 5 things I violently oppose about my 2009 Corvette ZR1. Just got this car recently, guys, and again, it's a bit unfair to start off with a dislikes video, but you know, why not? So again, I really haven't had the car that long, so, and you know, already there are a few things I really like about the car, a few things I don't like about the car, but as I always say, no car is perfect. No car is without its flaws and imperfections, and this car is definitely no exception to that rule. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing I violently oppose about my 2009 ZR1, guys, is this front carbon fiber splitter front lip spoiler. As you see, I've already managed to crack it. Well, I didn't crack it, the car wash did. But yeah, so that's already cracked. Got to get that repaired. But I'm not really sure what it is about this front splitter. You know, I mean, obviously, yes, it is fairly low, but as I mentioned in my previous video, I have other vehicles with, you know, that sit fairly low and also have front lip spoilers as well, and I have not had any difficulties in terms of catching the splitter, you know, ripping it off or getting it damaged like that. So I'm not really sure what it is about this car. I don't think it's lowered. I think it's basically stock in terms of where it's riding right now. But again, I could be wrong about that. But yeah, the fact that this thing, when I was unloading it off the trailer, I was actually helping the gentleman take it off the trailer, even with wood blocks, you know, I was just like, we barely cleared it. And then of course, minutes later, like an idiot, I go to get it washed, and then it gets caught right there and cracks the front lip spoiler. So this is something that could be a problem, but obviously, other than taking it off, I'm not really sure how to fix that issue. But that's definitely something I don't like about the car already, and I definitely have to be mindful when I'm driving it, which is very odd because again, it's not like, it's not slammed, or it's not like, you know, at least outwardly it doesn't seem any lower than my other cars. But again, that's definitely something that I do not like about the car right now, and is number 1 in terms of things I violently oppose. The second thing that I violently oppose about my 2009 CR1, guys, I mean ZR1, and obviously this is personal taste, personal preferences. I don't really care for the wheels. I'm actually not a big fan of chrome wheels, but even beyond that, I'm not really a big fan of the design of the wheels itself. I do like the blue brake calipers. Apparently that was what, you know, distinguished the ZR1 from the Z06s, and I guess even from the Grand Tours, or the Grand Sports, I'm sorry. So again, the blue brake calipers, I believe, were signature of the ZR1 trim. But yeah, I mean, again, just personal preference, guys. I'm not crazy about these wheels. Will I swap them out? I'm not sure. Usually I like to keep things pretty stock, as you guys know who follow the channel. Again, not a big, huge fan of these wheels. I mean, they're not aggressively ugly, but definitely not one of my favorite things. So I'm gonna go ahead and zonk that. Shout out to Rady's Rides, and say that's the second thing I violently oppose. The third thing I violently oppose about my 2009 ZR1, guys, you probably already guessed it, is the seats. Now, you know, the bolstering up here and the headrests, that's not too bad. But I'm not really sure what happened to this particular, the driver's seat. It feels like there's just no, I mean, obviously I feel there's, you know, a cushion here. I feel it's not empty or a big rip with some big hole, but I feel like when I sit, I'm basically sliding off to the left. My left leg is lower than my right, and despite, you know, adjusting the settings here and raising it as much as possible, I just kind of sit kind of crooked. So I just think, you know, this is a, what, 15-year-old car. So I get it that, you know, the bolstering, the cushion, some of those things are going to give over time, but you know, some build quality issues for sure. I think I'm going to go again kind of goes into, which is my next issue with the car, which is kind of the chintzy interior. But yeah, number 3 is definitely the seats. I don't really care for them. They're not great, not a lot of support, and what they say about these ZR1 seats are true. They're not very good. So actually, let's go ahead and segue into the fourth thing that I violently oppose about the car, which is, again, the interior. It's now, okay guys, to be fair, it's not, I mean, obviously I feel there's, you know, a cushion here. I feel there's, you know, a big rip with some big hole, but I feel like when I sit, I'm basically sliding off to the left. My left leg is lower than my right, and despite, you know, adjusting the settings here and raising it as much as possible, I just kind of sit kind of crooked. So I just think, you know, this is a, what, 14-15-year-old car. So I get it that, you know, the bolstering, the cushion, some of those things are going to give over time, but you know, some aggressively horrible. Again, I had a 2004 Dodge Viper, very similar, guys, in terms of fit and finish qualities. Obviously, you're gonna get plastic materials, you're gonna get the hard plastics. You know, you're not gonna get like Alcantara or nice leather and that sort of deal. You have a few nice touches here and there, like this fake carbon-like material here. You get the Corvette stitch, which is a little bit kind of chintzy. A little bit of leather, obviously your leather seats. But yeah, I mean, the interior is definitely nothing to write home about. I believe these cars were over $100,000 brand new. So for a $100,000 car, obviously you're getting the power, the performance for that amount of money, but you're certainly not getting the interior quality, which again, if you're buying a Corvette at this day and age, or this age, as it should say, for interior quality, and you got the wrong car. Obviously the C7 to C8 definitely stepped it up from there, and the interior is vastly improved. But the interior for this particular C6 ZR1, again, guys, nothing to write home about, so I'm gonna have to zonk that and say that that's the fourth thing I violently oppose. The fifth thing that I violently oppose about my 2009 Corvette ZR1, guys, is the fact that it is a very ubiquitous car. Perhaps not the ZR1 per se, but obviously there are tons and tons of Corvettes on the road. Obviously the C8s are wildly popular. You see them everywhere as well, but you still see a ton of C5, C6, C7 generation Corvettes around. Now the one caveat to that is obviously the ZR1 models were, again, the top of the top trim, the top of the lineup in terms of performance and whatnot. So they're not as common as the base models, the Grand Sports, or even the Z06s, or Z06s, if you will. The ZR1s are a bit more not rare, but you don't see them as often. Again, I see probably 3 or 4 at least Corvettes on the road every single day, but of those, they're usually the base models or the Z06s. I don't think I've seen too many ZR1s. So ZR1s, in that respect, again, is not, again, not rare, but is not as commonplace. But the fact that these cars are everywhere, much like Mustangs, Camaros, Challengers, Teslas, Corollas, Honda Civics, whatever, that is something that, you know, I know it's unfair, it's stupid, guys, but obviously I still got the car, so weighing all these things, I lean towards the pros, not the cons of the car. But that's something that is a knock for me, just because I typically like to get cars that are a little bit less ubiquitous, more I mean, rare in the sense that you know, people for whatever reason overlook them, or they're underappreciated, like my SVX, for example, my 3000 GT, even my Lotus Evora GT. A lot of people don't really get Lotus, or, you know, they'll get a BMW or Mercedes, or on the higher end they'll get Ferraris or Lamborghinis. But, you know, I like getting cars that, you know, again, the road less traveled. So that's something about this car, not this specific trim, but the car in general. You know, Corvettes, they are basically all over the place. So you know, it's just something that takes away a little bit from the specialness. But again, you know, you're in a ZR1, you have the badges, you have the little you know, window on the trunk, or on the hood. See your supercharger, supercharged V8. So again, little things that make you stand out, no doubt. So overall, again, I really like the car so far. I haven't had it that long, but those are 5 things that I aggressively oppose about the car, because no car, again, is perfect, guys. So hope you guys like the video. Give it a thumbs up, comment below. Let me know, do you guys have a ZR1? Are you guys big Vet fans? Do you hate Corvettes? Have I truly gone to the dark side? Appreciate any comments and whatnot. I really appreciate the love and support and the feedback so far, guys. And hope I continue putting out interesting content for you guys in the future. So again, hope to catch you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.